Alright guys, so today's video I'm going to show you guys how to change brake pads and what all you're going to need to change these brake pads. I'm not really sure what I'm going to need yet because I've never done these brake pads before on this truck, but I will show you guys step by step what you're going to need to do this job. So first off, I do have a floor jack, guys, but I'm going to show you that this truck is a 2017 EcoDiesel. So in this truck, if you go around to the passenger side, and I suggest if you do have a floor jack, it would be much easier to use a floor jack. I'm just showing you, if you don't have a floor jack with you, there is right here, you take this little clip piece off on the front passenger seat, and you should have all your jack stuff up underneath this seat. And you just take the screw loose, and then there's some Velcro straps in here that you can pop loose. So this is how we're going to be doing it today with this, just in case you like guys get stuck on the side of the road, don't have a floor jack. This is where the jack will be. So I got the jack out. As you can see, it does have this Velcro strap. Once you take this bolt out, this whole assembly will slide out from up underneath the seat, and then you can just take this Velcro strap out. I am working in a yard, guys, so I do got a 4x6 post that I'm just going to stick up. Make sure you're doing this on like level ground also. And I do have some jack stands as well. A lug wrench. I'm probably not going to use this lug wrench because this one right here, I can calibrate my my weight on each side so you don't snap these bolts off. It's much easier with a 4-way lug. So first off, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get my jack set up where it needs to be in position. And then I'll put some tension on it. I'll break these nuts loose. I won't take them all the way out. I'm just going to break them loose while the tire is still sitting on the ground. All right, so now I got the jack placed up. There's a little lip under here, guys, like a little channel that this jack tip will recess in. As you can see, this little lip here. Hope you guys can see that lip. But this jack will recess into that lip, and I just get it. I take my hand and tighten it up to the top right here. Then you have these little rods that just clip into one another, and then you put this little hook into the eyelet here, and you just clip all these together, guys, and then you put this little square cutout into the end. So this is how it should look after you put that where that square cutout is and through the end of this tubing that goes down to the jack, and you just twist this until it lifts the tire up. But like I said, I want to take these lug nuts loose first before I lift the truck up. So let's break these nuts loose, and then we'll lift this up. All right, so I'm just going to wind this up until I feel tension, which I feel tension now with the jack. So now I'm just going to take my 4-way lug wrench, guys, and break these lug nuts loose. You can also use this, what comes with the vehicle. You can use this as well. It's just be careful. You don't want to wring these bolt heads off. I've seen that done before. I like the full-way lug wrench because you can put equal pressure on each side when you take them loose. All right, so those are broke loose now. So I'm just going to raise the vehicle up until the tire's off the ground. So the tire's off the ground now. If you're doing this on the side of the road, the chances are you're not going to have the jack stands. So if you don't, just be careful. Make sure you chalk off the back of the tire or something, because you might not be on level surface. So just make sure you're being safe when you're doing this. So now we're just going to take off the rest of these lugs. Alright. You just set this to the side. And once you got your tire off, you can inspect your pads to make sure, you know. Let me show you guys. Let me get you a little closer. As you can see in here, this little thin part where my fingernail is, that's what's left. So it's only like 1/8 of an inch. Not this part here. That's the metal. The 1/8 of an inch. Right there. Right there, guys. It's trying to focus on my finger. It's like 1/8 of an inch left of pad. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And how I know that my pads need to be changed is I will look under the hood here. Let me show you. Just pop your hood. So here is your brake booster. Its max is right here. That means at this top of this point. Top of that point where it says max right here. That's where you want it to be. And as you can see, mine's almost down here to, it's a little high still. It's saying it's still good, but once it gets down here to that minimum, you know it's time for brakes. Mine, I probably could have went a little longer, but considering I just got 100,000 miles on this truck and never did a brake job on it, and I know it was brand new when I purchased the truck, I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I am doing a lot of traveling back and forth to work, so I want to go ahead and get this handled. But that's right there. That's an indication to when you need to change it, is when this is down here towards the minimum. All right, so let's get back to it. So over here, you're going to need to take this bolt loose. As you can see, this bolt here at the back top of the brake caliper. And then you got one more down here to the bottom, right here. We're going to take that loose. And it should be, I think, a 13 millimeter, guys. Let me grab that and I'll come back and tell you exactly. Yeah, so it's a 13 millimeter. If y'all can see that. And I'm using a 3/8 drive ratchet to do this. And there is another bolt right here that I'm gonna have to put a wrench on because it's just free spinning. So I need to put a wrench right here on this one. All right, guys, so I'm sorry for the weird cut. My phone died on me, but you're gonna need this 13 millimeter. I'm using a 3/8 inch drive or ratchet with a 13 millimeter socket, guys. But as you can see, there is a, when I take this loose, if you see on this side here where my finger is, that's free spinning as well. So you're gonna need a wrench. My bigger wrenches are at work, so I had to use these pliers to kind of like grab onto it, because as you can see, these pliers are a little too wide. So I had to grip on here pretty tight and twist this and break it loose. I need two hands to do this, guys. So you can also use an adjustable wrench as well, but this adjustable wrench doesn't fit in there either, but it sits in there far enough so I can twist this to get it loose, guys. I'm sorry for the the blurriness is trying to focus on my fingers when I put them in the way. But we're going to get that loose. That's what you're going to need, guys. And I'm probably thinking that might be, I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on this, maybe a 16 millimeter, 15 millimeter. I do have up to a 14, which is right here. That's all I have in my box, because like I said, all my other tools are on the job site. And this 14 is just a little bit too small. So it's probably about a 16, guys. Like I said, this is 14. So I just used a combination of this and this to break it loose, because you got to have that right there to pop it loose. So let me get that popped loose, and I'm gonna have to do the same thing down here as well, guys. Maybe I'll set my camera up down on the ground showing you guys what I'm doing. Oh, and also, guys, this jack's up. I didn't put these up. These are just, if you don't feel comfortable doing a job like this, please put these under somewhere like that, guys. Just if this thing falls, it'll catch on something. Yeah, so do it like that right there. That's how the jack stands work. I kind of feel comfortable doing this, because if I wasn't videoing this, I'd already have this done. I was just trying to provide a little knowledge for some of you guys out there that don't mind getting dirty and doing these jobs yourself. Make it a little easier, let you guys know what kind of tools you need for the job as well. But I got this little stand here. I'm gonna put my phone on it so you can see what I'm doing in the process of, you know, these close-up shots. So we got this broke loose off camera. I couldn't do it and show you guys because I didn't have nowhere to place my phone. But I got this loose, and that's what it looks like right there. This top one. So that one's loose and ready to go. So now we got to do this bottom. So I'm going to try to set my phone up at the bottom, since I can set it on the ground, and show you the procedure of that. Alright, so I think I got y'all placed right. So I'm gonna break this loose, which is like that. And now it's all free spinning. So now I'm gonna just grab it with these pliers and twist it loose. But like I said, if you have that boxed wrench, would work as well. I just don't have it with me, guys. I'm just going to take that loose. So that's ready. Top's ready. So now I'm going to have to just like wiggle this. The brake caliper itself, I'm just going to wiggle it. And it should slide off. And if yours doesn't slide off, just take you a little pry bar or something, which I'm probably going to have to do, guys, to get it off, because it's wanting to catch on these clips. And this is like one of those double calipers, so it's kind of weird. And I don't think I have any of my screwdrivers here as well. So just gonna do it like that. And there we go, guys. It's off. It tried to be aggravating, but a little force and it'll come off. Alright, so this is the pad. I mean, it still had some life in it. The top piece is the pad itself. It had life, but I don't want to chance it, guys, be on the road in the middle of the night and break down. And my truck was starting to get a little, when you press on the gas or the brake, it wanted to get a little shimmy in the steering wheel. The back brake pad looks pretty good. It still looked like it had maybe a 1/4 inch of pad. And if you are getting these pads, guys, make sure you get ceramic. You get the standard, these things will not last that long. So get ceramic. They had 3 versions of this. They had standard, gold, and then platinum. The only thing difference between gold and platinum is the platinum came with lubricant, where you can lubricate these. You can take this gasket and bolts off right here and lubricate that shaft, and lubricate inside of these channels right here where these clips go. You can lubricate them as well. I wouldn't suggest putting lubricant on the pad itself. That's not how the lubricant works. But that's the only difference between gold and platinum. But make sure you get ceramic pads when you get them, and just unless you just can't get them. The price difference isn't too much between standard and I just got the gold. I got the gold pads, guys. Let me show you. Premium gold brake pads. Like I said, the only thing difference between gold and platinum is they give you a lubricant in the box. And I didn't need lubricant, so I just got the gold. And these are ceramic pads. Alright, so we're gonna get these bad boys. I'm gonna take this caliper and I'm gonna collapse this piston. Let's see. These pistons right here with an old pad and a C-clamp. So let me get that set up and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is the brake caliper, or not the caliper, this is, yeah, the brake caliper. And these pistons right here need to be pressed back in flat to this point here, so we can get the new pads in, guys. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking the old pad that I took off that's got these brake caliper piston grooves in it, and I'm just going to stick it in like that right there. Stick it in like that. And then I'm just going to take this C-clamp right here and I'm going to clamp it on the back side into these holes and collapse these calipers back down. And since this has got 2 pistons on it, I'm just going to work one side and then just come over to this side and work this side down. They do make one of these brake caliper press, I guess that's what you would call it. I never owned one, but you just stick it in there and it's got like a centerpiece that you just screw down onto it and it collapses it down. I'm old school, guys. I've always used the C-clamp, so that's what we gonna be doing. All right, so I got the C-clamp on the brake caliper. As you can see, I put it on the back of the let me zoom out a little bit. So I put it on the back of the caliper here, and then I put that onto the piston right there and got that tight. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to apply pressure. This is a 6-inch C-clamp as well, guys, so 6 inches seems to be efficient enough. So I'm just going to apply a little pressure, and then I'm going to move over to the other side over here on this piston and just kind of like just press this in a little bit and then press the other side in. Usually when you're doing small vehicles, it's only got one piston, not two. So you can just do one time. You don't have to rotate each side to get it pressed down, if that makes sense. So set y'all up here. Zoom you in a little bit. Hope y'all can see. Maybe pull you back a hair. And up. I just want y'all to be able to see what I'm doing, guys. Just gonna apply pressure. And it is moving. So, and on the back of here, make sure you don't put it on any of these lines, guys. You don't want that to mess up your brake line, because that would be you have a terrible day. Go to stop and won't be able to. Alright, so that's pressed down. So now I'm just gonna swap over to the other side. I have to take this loose because of the line, guys. Like I said, you don't want to put pressure on the brake line itself. And then apply pressure. And you know what, guys? I do have another C-clamp, so I may go grab it. So, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go grab it real quick, if I can find it. Alright, so I got my other C-clamp, got it on. And double C-clamping these double pistons, guys, is much easier. So, all I did was just twist these down till all the piston was collapsed back down to this position here, flat to this. Just applied pressure equally down through there, kept twisting until it was both collapsed, guys. Hope y'all can see that okay. Right here, guys. These pistons should be flat to the caliper. Just be careful you don't pinch any of these this is a rubber grommet that goes around that piston. Just be careful you don't damage that. And also this brake line here. Let me see if y'all can see that. Yeah, this brake line here, you don't want to pinch it over here. And you don't want to like put any kind of tension here if you can't. They do make hooks where you can hook this up. I think that's just a waste. I don't need all that. But this one is collapsed, so I'm just going to undo it. Just like so. And me doing this job myself, guys, is saving me, the brake pads was like 100 and, because I got the rear pads as well, so it was like 120 bucks, I believe. 110, 20 bucks. Just for the pads, I did buy a fuel filter as well, which brought the price up to $180 for everything to do this, because the dealership told me I needed new pads, so they said they could do it for $800, guys. So makes sense for me to do it myself if I know how to do it. You know what I mean? Bada bean. Yeah, I'm always about saving that dollar if I know how to do something. But yeah, that saved me $700 to do this job, or you know, right around $700 to do this myself. And then they was going to charge me $300 to do the fuel filter, which is very simple as well. And I believe that cost $55 from the parts house, the filter, and they was going to charge me $300 to do it at a dealership. So I saved money there as well. So between both of those jobs, it was going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, almost $1,200, $1,300 to do all 4 brakes and the fuel filter. So for the $200 I spent, makes sense to me to do it myself. All right, so now we got that off, and the premium edition, like I was saying, comes with lubricant, but I have some lubricant right here, and all I'm going to do is take this stuff here, and I'm just going to put some on the bolts that came out holding the brake caliper, and then I'm going to put some maybe on these tips right here, these clips, and then I'm going to put some, you can take these little, let me show you. You can take these pins, this bolt that holds the caliper. Let me see if y'all can see what I'm looking at. Yeah, so right there, right here where this is, this is actually where your nut goes back into here. I'm just going to lubricate this and this shaft here. And then I'm going to just take that and I'm going to stick it back in. And then we're all done, guys. Put it all back together. So, let me go ahead and do that. And, that's just some of this grease here. Just put a little bit on there. Like so. And then that's ready to go back in. Just like that. I'm going to take the bottom loose, do the same thing. And then I'll put some on this bolt. That just keeps it from seizing up. Just like so. Hope y'all can see that. And then this just goes back into here. I'm just going to stick it back over here on this blanket I got laid down, because it doesn't need to go back in yet until the caliper goes back on. So I'm just lubricating the other one as well. And we're going to take this bottom shaft out. Be careful pulling these up, because this is like a little rubber type grommet that this thing seats in, and you don't want to rip it. This one wants to be a little pain, but we got her. The other side, the bottom, put a little grease on there. It looks like it doesn't need it, but we're going to put it on there anyway. And then we're just going to slide that back in like so. And I'm going to go wash my hands real quick, guys. Alright, so I got the new pads right here. As you can see the difference in between them. Show you the olds. This is the old one. Right there. And then this is the new one. Right here. Plenty of stopping power, guys. Plenty. And it comes with a bag of clips as well. And these clips do not need to have grease on them. So what these clips do, I'll show you real quick. Grab 2 for each pad. You need 2 of them for each pad. You want these little, you want this end here facing away from the pad, right away from this. It want that pin to stick up here like that, guys. Just mimic your other pad, your old pad. As you can see, these are the 2 pads. The old one, just mimic this one. This one's sticking up, this one's sticking up. Pad down, just like so. So after I get all these clips on them, we'll get everything in position, put back in the caliper. Alright, so we got the clips in right there on both of them. These pads are gonna sit just like this inside that caliper. So let me go ahead and get the caliper down. Just like that, guys. It's gonna sit in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the back one on first. The hump goes upwards. So this one's the back one. Hump up like that. Hump up like that for the front. Cedar in here. Just like so. And as you can see, guys, there are little slits down here. This goes in like that. You probably can put the pads in first. Yep, put them in first in them little grooves. And you're good to go. Find out where this groove is, just like that. Yep, just like so, guys. And then we'll put the caliper on it. Let me show you what I did, just in case y'all can't see. So there's a little groove right here, and then right here. That's where the clips go. Down one in the bottom, down, seated in. And then one. And it's seating on this flat, guys. Right there, that flat is seating just like that. Just don't want y'all to get confused. Like that. That's flat. That's where it seats into the steel bracket. just like so. And then this hits on the metal, right like that. Same thing up at the top. Let me zoom you out a little bit. That looks, yeah, so same thing on the top. It just seats right into that little slot. Same thing on the back, guys. Does this exact same thing. So now let's put this in, which that should just drop right down. And then you take those and push that in right there, that bolt. And same thing up here, push that one in, line it up, and then we're going to stick our bolts in right here. Does have a little dirt in it. Let me clean that off a little bit. There we go. And then we're just going to tighten that up. So it's seated in there. I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. See, it's seated. Now let's get all that tightened back up. I'm sorry about the video being all squiggly and stuff, guys. I was just trying to be precise so you guys know exactly what you're dealing with. So we're just going to get the top and bottom bolted up. So this is the bottom bolt here we're going to be tightening up, just in case, because I don't think you guys could see on my other tripod. So I just moved my camera. This is the bottom. This is the top and bottom. So we're just going to get this one tightened up. Now I'm just going to stick my finger here on this center one just to keep it from spinning, so I can tighten the top or the outside nut, or not nut, a bolt. And then I'm just going to take my pliers and I'm going to hold that center and just tighten it up. And do the same thing on this top one as well. Just hold that center. And these things have to be tight, but they don't have to be super like put on there, like, because you don't want to break anything. Alright, so that's good. And I'm not sure of the torque specifications. I'm just going by eye. And I think that's beautiful, guys. If you want to know the torque specifications, you probably could like Google it and figure it out. But I know it's about that tight. It was easy to break off. So make sure you ain't able to spin them off though. So yeah. It's probably maybe like 25 foot-pounds or something like in that nature. But I'm not sure. Look it up, guys, if you want to be real precise. All right, so this side's done, guys. This side is done. So the next side's going to be the same process of doing this one here. Oh, and one more thing, guys. What I like to do, I like to clean up this. I already done this, but I didn't specify it in the video. Clean your brake caliper off really good, like so. Just spray it real good, get all that gunk off. Mine's really not that bad. Get all that off, and I'll let this drip dry until it shouldn't take that long. It's already drying up now, as you can see, evaporating. It evaporates that quick. But yeah, I like to do that, get it all nice and clean, so when I do it the next time, it's not too bad and your hands don't get all greasy. I should have wore gloves, but real men don't wear gloves. They do, guys. Real men do wear gloves. I couldn't find them. And now I'm just going to it's probably dry now. Now you can I like to put a little bit of grease. You don't have to use this grease. You can get this grease at the parts house, guys. The anti-seize grease. I'm just using, I already had some. I'll just put some of this on these studs, because I am traveling up in the north part of Virginia where we get snow, and they do put salt on the roads, and this will seize up if you don't grease it up real good. Just grease it up, and grease that up. Better safe than sorry, guys. I mean, you're already here at this point. Don't skip any steps. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in the truck and see, you can see it's still got a little slack in there in the caliper. I'm just going to press on the brake so that caliper will collapse tight onto the brake pad and the rotor. Hold on. I don't want to touch my truck door with greasy hands, so let me wash those off real quick. Alright, so I'm just gonna press the brakes, and at first it's gonna go to the floor because it's collapsed, but then it should get tight, guys, which it did. I mean, I could have did this after I did the other side, but I was just showing y'all because I'm not going to show you guys doing the other side. It's going to be the same process of this side. So, all right, guys. So we got the area cleaned up. What I did one more step. I just cleaned my tire up really good. front side and the back side. I just got all that brake dust out from around it and got it all cleaned up. It had a whole bunch of gunk in there, so I got all that cleaned up. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. So now I'm just going to throw this bad boy back on here. Just like that. Get some of these lugs in place. My dog's barking at me, guys, looking at me do this. She's like, who the heck is that out there messing with my daddy's truck? Nah, but got all the lugs back in place. So now we're just going to tighten all this back up, guys. I'm not going to tighten it super tight. I'm just going to get them pulled down snug and drop it off the jack. Now I'm just gonna lower the jack until the tire seats on the ground. Don't forget, if you do have a jack stand under here, go ahead and take that out, which I do have one, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that loose. And now we're just going to jack it down. Once it sits on the tire seats down on the ground, I'm just going to continue tightening these lugs up. And I do not know the torque specifications for this. It's just I do it by feel. Yeah, I just do it by feel. All the way around. And that's good enough for me, guys. Good enough for government work. Then we're just going, I was going the wrong way. Take her down. Good to go. And now this side's done, so on to the next side, which I'm not going to show you in this video because the other side is exactly the same as this side. So if you like the video, guys, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button for your boy. Subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell notification. And stay tuned, guys, because I am going to be doing the rear brakes in the next video. So stay tuned for that. Like always, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.